Hello, I'm Pam Lawson, and this is my business partner, Chris Wilson, and we just wanted to welcome you to our team. We're so glad you decided to join us, and we recognize that it's a big step to make a decision to own your own business or to join this industry, and we just wanted to give you a few tips about getting started with your business and some of the things that you really need to think about as you're getting started. So, Chris, you want to start off?
Well, I think anytime you step out and you try to change yourself, it's difficult. No matter if you're trying to lose weight or you're trying to exercise, whatever it is, it's difficult because in order to change any kind of result, you have to do it on a consistent basis. I think one of the biggest mistakes people make in network marketing or home-based business is, they don't put consistent effort in. They don't do it every day. They might do it one day this week. They might do it 2 days this week. They might take a whole week off. And the key to anything is you have to realize that a change needs to be made in your life right now. And it has to be made on a consistent basis. You can do all the research you want. If you want to start to change a habit, it can happen anywhere between 21 and 36 days if you're doing it consistently. And it doesn't mean that once you hit that time period that is automatically ingrained in your body, in your mind. You have to continue to do it or else you're going to relapse back to what your old programming in your head is telling you, because you have to understand that whenever you try to make your change, the biggest battle you're going to have is with yourself. Your body's going to say, man, this isn't normal. You're not supposed to be working out every day at the gym. You're supposed to come home and watch TV and do the fun things you like to do. And that little voice in your head, anytime you try to make that change, it's going to always be talking to you. It's going to be, just put it off. We can do it tomorrow. Or, don't do it for half hour. Just do it for 10 minutes. What's 20 minutes? Not a big deal. So I think that's probably the biggest mindset moving forward, is you just got to do a little bit every day if you truly want that change to happen.
And I think Chris said all that to say that when you start a new business, there's going to be some things that you need to do differently. And you made a decision to start a business because you wanted change in your life. And you have to understand that the excitement of doing this is going to carry you through the first couple of days, but if you truly want to change your situation and you want to change your life, you're going to need to do things consistently for a period of time, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to help you and to coach you to do that, but we kind of wanted to let you know up front from the beginning that this isn't always going to be easy. We have a good time when we build this business. It is fun. And if it's not fun, you're not doing it the right way, and we need to help you fix that situation. But we want you to know that it's going to take a period of time to change the way you think, to change the things that you do, so that you're doing things that are effective and moving you towards success in your business. We're not trying to scare you off. We want you to have realistic expectations and understand. It's just like if you decided to start a new job someplace else. There's going to be a period of time that you need to be trained and to learn what to do. And this industry is an awesome industry, and there's so much personal growth that you get being part of it. But you need to understand that there's a learning curve, and that's our job to help you get through that learning curve.
A lot of people want things happen really fast. We're in a microwave society.
Sure.
And always have the attitude, never sacrifice speed for planning. And I mean, it doesn't do any good to try to go as fast as possible without planning every single step you're going to do. So, you don't have to rush through all this. You're going to go at your own pace, but, it's more important to plan and to do it correctly. And maybe it might take just a little bit longer. Maybe instead of happening in 2 weeks, it happens in 3 weeks. But you're doing it correctly. So, that's kind of what we're going to do. We're going to help you go through a journey here. And a lot of this training is basic training, basic skill development. But it's all to build the foundation of your business. This is the foundation of your entire business. And we're going to take it in bits and pieces, and just be patient with yourself, because it is a different industry. But you do have a lot of skills already, which you probably don't know of, or you probably just take it for granted that you have these skills because you just do it every day.
You don't use them.
Yeah, you don't use them in a different application.
So we're going to start in one area that's the most important area, and that's with anything else to build a good, strong, solid foundation. And we're not going to give you tons of information all at once. We're going to kind of spoon feed you, like Chris said, so that you're not overwhelmed, but so that you have a good understanding of the basic building blocks. And what this is going to do is teach you how to do this with your team when your team starts to grow too. So,
well, we talk about things consistently. The biggest thing that you want to do consistently is to stay in contact with the system. Now, we have developed a system-centric model, which means you can be as busy as you want and have as many things going on as you want, as long as you continue to stay plugged into that system daily. And we have, probably the best part of your system is your upline leader, or the person that sponsored you in this business. Now, sometimes the person that brought you in this business might be just as new as you. So it's very important to find, to keep going up within your business and find, the people who are serious and the people that you can call every day. And it might only be 5 or 10 minutes to stay connected like that. But, with the websites and everything we have some tools we want to talk about. So you know what's going to be planned every day and every week in your system as far as staying connected with your team.
That's right. So the main thing, the foundation of your business, the purpose of building a good foundation is so that you can become check qualified, so that you become eligible to make a paycheck, which is important in this business. So we're going to talk about some of the things that you need to put in place right away to get your foundation built. And it's kind of like, Chris always gives the example, it's like your skeletal system. Everything, your body is supported by your skeletal system. If you don't have a strong foundation or strong bones, then you're just, you're a pile of mush on the floor. Your organs would be hanging out down there. Your skin would be laying in a pile on the ground. It's not a very pretty picture, but it's true. So building this foundation is like the skeletal system that's going to hold your organization up and hold your business up for years and years and years to come.
That's correct. And like Pam said, our goal is just to help people get qualified for a check. That's the foundation. Right. If you just do that for a prolonged period of time of a year to 2 years, you're not going to have to work another day in your life. Just by helping people become check qualified. And as we go through, we're going to teach you variables on how we increase that foundation, how we build out that skeletal system so you have good biceps and a good chest and that great buttocks and great legs and the six-pack abs. That's all part of your business after we build this foundation. So some of the things that you need to get in touch with and set up with right away, the first one is really our daily messages that go to the wireless, your wireless phone.
Mm-hmm. And they're brief every day. It's a quick 2-minute message, doesn't take a lot of time, and it just will, one day is a focus message, another day might be a product-centered message, another day might be announcements of what's happening on the team, another day might be recognition. But it's great information to keep you in touch or keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening within our team. And it's something that, like Chris said, it goes right to your cell phone. If you don't have time to listen to it at that moment, you just let it go to voicemail, and then you can listen to it over and over again. If you have time, you pick it up and you answer, and you just get a little burst of energy for the day, right in the middle of your day.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. A lot of representatives, when they get started, they just get conditioned to it because they have a bad day in the morning, and maybe it comes at noon, or maybe it comes at 3 o'clock, and it gives them that, it helps them remind why they're doing this business, and man, I can't wait to get home so I can put some time into my business. But very simple system. Next, we have weekly team calls where we get the team together. We do recognition, we do training, we update people with what's going on. That kind of corresponds to our training website too. But it allows us to showcase a lot of the tremendous leadership we have on our team from many people that come from all different walks of life.
From all around the country.
Yes.
It's the ability, even though you don't know them face to face, you get to know them through listening to them on our team calls. And then when we have our regional events, which is the next item on our list, you get to meet everybody because everybody comes in together. People are flying in and driving up from long distances, and you feel like you already know them. They're friends that you've built relationships with. And
I think it's really exciting at these regional events because as you build your business, it's pretty much impossible to keep it in your state and in your local area. Next thing you know, you've been building a relationship with someone in North Carolina that's in your group, and then when you see them at a regional event, It really puts the bond together of all those times you're on a conference call or talking on the telephone, and it's the glue that it really puts everything together. But that regional event, really, it's a must, because it's every 90 days, and we've got top people coming in from each region. We have people flying all across the country to come into this regional event, and we got corporate comes in. It's a great opportunity to spend time with executives from corporate in a very small group atmosphere, where you can take some of the executives and ask specific questions and get those questions answered, and build, and more importantly, build relationship with executives at the company.
That's very true. Now, when you get started, what you're going to find is that you're going to need to set aside some time. I wouldn't recommend that you treat this business as a hobby unless you want hobby type money. If you are serious about building a business, you need to be serious about allocating some time in your schedule. Now, everybody's probably thinking, when am I going to have time? I'm so busy already. I don't know when I can fit this in. But let me ask you this. If you're this busy right now, when's it going to change? What are you doing to make that change? Because if you're not doing anything differently, you're just going to get busier and busier, because our lives are crazy now. With kids and activities and commitments and work and jobs, and everybody's schedule is busy. And if you don't make time or take time to do something different, there is no light at the end of the tunnel. And this industry is probably the only way that you're going to be able to get your time back. If you can just put 5 hours a week, 6 hours a week, focus time on doing the activities that are going to help your business grow, you're going to be able to make a significant increase to your budget. You may even be able to replace your income, and you're going to get your time freedom back. So you need to think about why you're doing this business. For me, that's a big part of it. I want time to spend with my grandchildren and my kids, and I just bought a beach house, so I want to be able to go down and spend time at the beach house and spend time with my mom. And I don't want to work 40, 50 hours a week. So one big incentive for me is to have my time freedom back. And I know that's for a lot of people too. But understand that don't make the excuse that you're so busy that you just don't have time to do this. Because if it's important to you, you will make the time to do it, because of what it's going to ultimately give you in a couple years down the road if you really put that 5 to 6 hours a week to work.
If I ask Pam on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to make this happen? How bad do you want whatever her goals are to happen? I know she would say 11 or 12. Right. It would be off the chart. And that means when she wakes up every day, she has that internal motivation. It's that fire, that passion every day to do what she's going to do. And it might not be something that's directly correlated to building her business. It might be driving in the car, she's listening to her affirmations on a CD in her car for a half hour while she's driving to work. Or it might be at lunch, instead of taking a full hour of lunch and eating and sitting there and gabbing with the girls, she eats for 5 or 10 minutes, and then she's reading a book for 30 minutes, or she's making a couple calls, or she's maybe writing out some goals. There's a lot of time in your schedule, and one of the best exercises you could do is counsel with your upline. Write out your current schedule. If you're thinking right now, man, I don't have time in the day, I don't have enough time, I think here's the question. How can't you have time for yourself? Because now that poses the question in my head, well, what are your real intentions in this business? Are your real intentions to make a change, or are your real intentions to just put half-hearted effort and see what happens? See, that's where it comes your intentions. You need to be a 10. Because if it's not a 10, you're not going to put that hour in a day or that half hour in a day consistently every single day. And when you actually write it out, it's amazing that, Pam said 5 or 6 hours. I think an hour a day is really pretty simple to carve out when you look at all the time you have, all the downtime that you probably take for granted.
People ask me all the time, they talk about these TV shows that are on. I never watch television. I just feel like there's so many other things I would rather be doing. Now, there might be a show that if I have company, I'll sit and watch a little Dancing with the Stars or something like that, but I don't watch TV. I could live without a television, because I know there's books I want to read, there's people I need to call, there's things I need to do that I know are going to make me get me where I want to be in life if I work on them. So, and We don't want to sound hardcore here that your life is going to dramatically change with this. We're talking 5 or 6 hours a week. Still go enjoy your life. Spend time with your children. My family is so important to me. And Chris has 2 darling little girls, and you know, you spend the time with your family, but we're talking about finding that hour a day to make yourself better, to improve your life. It is so worth it. And every single person there, nobody doesn't have an extra hour a day. You get up a half an hour earlier. You go to bed a half an hour later. When you're driving in your car, you pop in a CD. Or I always listen to training calls that I download on my phone. I put them in my earpiece, and I use that time wisely. And you will be just amazed at how much better you'll feel and how much you'll learn. And, your confidence and your self-esteem and everything will be better, and it will enable you to go out and build this business beyond your wildest dreams.
Yeah, and we don't want to mislead you. You have to put time every day. You're in the position you're in because you're making certain choices. And if you want to change, you've got to make better choices. You're going to have to do a little bit every day. There's nothing around it. If you're not going to do a little bit every day, you're going to move ahead a couple days and you're going to go back a couple days. You're going to move ahead a couple days and go back a couple days. And after 3 months, you're going to realize you didn't get anywhere, because for as many days as you move forward, you move back just as many days. So when it all boils down to it, it's just a choice. You choose what you're going to do with your extra time. So outside of your job that pays the bills, you have choices. And the individuals that make the best choices possible to get them closer to their goals, and the word sacrifice is going to, you have to make some sacrifices in there, because you're going to make choices that are very foreign to you. Because a lot of people, they want to do the things they like to do every single day, and they want to avoid the things they have to do. You have to start making choices where in your extra time, you get the things done that have to get done every single day that get you closer to your goals. And if you have to sacrifice for a couple of years, changing your schedule around, well, is that worth it to live your dream lifestyle? That's the question you have to answer for yourself.
So, that's the way of a brief little introduction and a welcome. We hope we didn't scare anybody, but we just want you to know how excited we are to have you on the team, because we know what this can do for your life. We know what this is doing for our lives and for the people who are already on our team. And I just love helping people reach their full potential in life. And this is the best way that I know how, because it really will dramatically alter your life if you put the time and effort into it.
Definitely. So we thank you for taking time tonight or today, and we look forward to connecting with you here.
Yep.
Have a great day.